Welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday afternoon. We are now in the post-storm mode. We are assessing how things went. Overall, the adjustments made to the forecast, I think, yesterday evening to kind of lower the top end of the range, that certainly worked out well. It became obvious as we got within 5 or 6 hours of the onset of the storm that warm air, maybe not down here where we live, but upstairs about 4,000 or 5,000 feet in the atmosphere, it was going to get involved in this. There was always a question as to whether that would happen. The models were all over the place. By Monday, we were pretty convinced, hey, not much warm air is going to get involved in this, except maybe in southeastern Columbiana County. But all the way up through Trumbull and Mercer County, we had a warm layer of air aloft that caused sleet and freezing rain and havoc on the roads this morning. Here's a look at the snowfall totals as reported to the National Weather Service. Now, this is an incomplete list. It's not going to give you the complete story, but it'll give you a sampling of what we did have happen. Generally, it looks like in Trumbull County and Mercer County, 3 to 6, generally speaking. There's a 6-inch report just across the border into Lawrence County and New Wilmington. About 3 over Newton Falls, 3.1 at the Youngstown Warren Airport, 2.5 West Middlesex. Again, an incomplete list. Some totals were certainly higher than this. But I think generally 3 to 6 is where most of us ended up in Trumbull County and Mercer County and Lawrence County, a lot of Mahoning County as well. And down in Columbiana County, actually, some of the higher amounts, ironically enough, were down in southeastern Columbiana County. We were counting on the changeover to sleet and freezing rain to occur fast enough that amounts would not be that high down there. However, before that changeover occurred, the snow came down so heavily that it accumulated faster down towards East Liverpool than it did in the rest of the region. So ironically enough, overall the highest totals were where we thought that the lowest totals might be, because of that thump of snow right before the changeover sent everybody over the top. So about 6 inches down towards East Liverpool, and south of there, out of our viewing area, a lot of places were up around 8, 9, 10, even close to 12, down just north of Steubenville. Carroll County, Carrollton had about 6 inches. So again, general idea as to what happened last night. And why did we have kind of the lower end of our snowfall range? It was because of that warm nose aloft. And I mentioned on the video yesterday what the difference is between sleet and freezing rain. There is a big difference. Freezing rain's worse, but sleet does make things slick, and sleet does reduce snowfall accumulations in a snowstorm. Basically, when you have a layer of above freezing air upstairs, it depends on how thick the layer is. If it's a thin layer, sleet's more likely. The snow melts in that thin layer of warm air, as shown right here, but then it has enough cold air below it that the water droplets refreeze. They don't refreeze back into snowflakes. Once a snowflake melts, it doesn't become a snowflake again. It becomes a little ice pellet, and that's what sleet is. Freezing rain, the layer of warm air is bigger, it's deeper, and so the snow melts into rain, and then it stays rain all the way down until it hits the ground, and the ground's frozen, so it freezes on the ground, and that's what causes kind of our worst driving conditions a lot of times. So it just depends on where the warm layer is located, how high up it is, and how deep it is, as to whether you're going to get sleet or freezing rain. We had some of both last night, and that's why things were pretty icy this morning across the area. So now we've got quite a bit of snow on the ground, not only locally, but across a lot of the country. Real quick snapshot of who has snow and who doesn't. The snow extends all the way down into northern Texas as far as the snow on the ground this afternoon. 63.6% of the lower 48 states now covered with snow, and that's right up there with some of our highest percentages of the season. Earlier in the season, back in early December, we had similar numbers. So a lot of the country, not just us, in the snowy zone this afternoon. All right, let's talk about now. It is 2:30 in the afternoon on this Wednesday, and we've got scattered snow showers primarily west of Youngstown at this point. Some snow showers north of Warren, curving back towards Kent, Ravenna, Akron, and then up towards the greater Cleveland area, and especially up here in the eastern suburbs of Cleveland. There could be another couple of inches of snow out of this before the end of the day. But, boy, except for extreme northwestern Trumbull County, where there could be another inch or so, I don't think we're going to see much accumulation for the rest of the day today. Temperatures are running in the mid-20s. Let me take off those temperatures. I'll put the radar in motion, give you a sense as to how things are progressing this afternoon. You're going to see a few snowflakes here and there, but the show is pretty much over at this point. Again, unless you live up in northwestern Trumbull up towards Mespo, you're probably not going to see much additional accumulation this afternoon. Just a lot of clouds, breezy, chilly, icy winds out there this afternoon, and yeah, just kind of a classic wintry-looking day for today. All right, let's go into the to the future a little bit here. Let me bring up my computer model, which I forgot to plot up before I hit record, so bear with me for just a second here. We've been talking about the potential for some shenanigans in terms of snow heading into the upcoming weekend, and there's still some question marks, but I'm becoming more and more convinced that we're not going to be dealing with a lot of snow during the upcoming weekend. I'm going to plot up the latest and greatest GFS computer model here and fast forward to the weekend. Nothing goes on, really, aside from a flurry on Thursday. Friday's tranquil with some sunshine. Over the weekend, here's Saturday evening. There's a weak little system that's going to pivot through late in the day Saturday. And, you know, this could be the kind of system that brings maybe an inch or possibly two. So kind of a nuisance event on Saturday. Sunday's been the day that we've been talking about, oh, there could be a stronger area of low pressure somewhere. And while I'm just showing you one model here, a lot of the computer models are now starting to come around to the idea that this is not going to be a very strong storm. In fact, it may not do much of anything now on Sunday. GFS on Sunday has low pressure over towards New York City. Scattered snow showers, yes, back in our neck of the woods, but not really much. So we're not looking, it looks like at this point, at a big snow event. But it's only Wednesday. We've got plenty of time to iron this out. Just want to give you a heads up that it looks less and less likely as we go through time that we're going to be dealing with another big blockbuster, big ticket snow event this weekend. We might get nickeled and dimed a little bit with an inch or two Saturday and maybe another inch or two Sunday, but no big whopper storms for the upcoming weekend. Let's talk about long-range temperatures, and there's no end in sight to the cold pattern. This is the chart showing you temperature anomalies, in other words, the difference from average that the temperature is expected to be. The black line that runs straight across, that's where we should be at this time of the year. That's the average temperature, in other words. We're in the doldrums down here, certainly right through the end of this week. Temperatures, especially at night, could be as much as 20 degrees or so below average. We'll be flirting with zero several nights coming up. There'll be a little bit of a break maybe as we head into the weekend. Might snow a little bit, but we get closer to average anyway by the weekend. But after that, we go down again, and then maybe we head up closer to average for a little while. But you'll notice the forecast doesn't go much above average at all through the next 16 days. And that's confirmed by another computer model here. Looking out in the longer range, this covers the period from the 5th, which is today, through the 15th. So we're going out 10 days here, and this is certainly a cold look to it. Unless you're in Florida or the Southwest, temperatures more often than not are going to be below average. So, boy, it'd be nice if we had an early spring this year. Remains to be seen if that is in the cards. Well, thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday. I'll be on 21 News as usual tonight at 6 and 11. I will see you then.